Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start by typing equals sequence, and then I want to have 12 rows and 1 column, and I want a start of 0 and a step of 1. And this gets me the numbers going from 0 to 11. Then I'm going to put all of this inside the mod function, and this returns the remainder after a number is divided. And because I want 3 numbers repeating, my divider is going to be the number 3. And close brackets and enter. And this gets me the numbers 0, 1, 2. So in order to get this to be 1, 2, 3, I just need to add 1 onto the end of it. If I wanted this to start at 2, I could just add 2 onto it. And also, if I wanted the number to increase by 2 each time, I could just click in here and multiply this by 2. And the multiplication part needs to go in front of the addition part. And this gets me the numbers increasing by 2 each time. For the next method, I'm going to do equals sequence, and we'll again have 12 rows and 1 column. But this time the start will be 1 and the step is going to be 1 divided by 3, because I want each number to be repeated 3 times. And close brackets and enter. And now I have numbers which increase by a third each time. Then I can put all of this inside the int function, and this rounds a number down to the nearest integer, and integer just means whole number. So this gets me the numbers 1 to 4, each being repeated 3 times. Now for the next method, sometimes it is easier just to use a helper column. So I'll put the number 2 in here and then do equals and select the cell above. Then I can do equals and select the first cell and add 3, and then drag this formula down. And this works because each cell is referencing to 2 cells above it. Then I can do equals, choose rows, and the array will be this table here. And then for the row numbers, I'll select the pattern of numbers that I just made. And this gets me the rows that I want. I can then select this cell reference here and press F9 on the keyboard. And that is the keyboard shortcut to turn the cell reference into actual numbers. So I still get the same results. I can then delete the helper column. So this gives us the advantage of the helper column, but means that we still end up with all of our formula in just one cell. Now for the next method, I'm going to type equals sequence again and put in the number 5. Then I am going to put an AND symbol onto the end of this and select 3 blank cells horizontally and enter. And this gets me the numbers 1 to 5 being repeated 3 times across the columns. In order to put this into just one column, I'm going to use the TOCOL function. And then to get this to be the order that I want, I'm going to put 2 commas in here and then put in the number 1 for true scan by column. Then to make sure that we don't accidentally mess this up later by typing something into these blank cells, I'm going to use the expand function. And the array is going to be a blank cell, so that's 2 quotation marks with nothing in between. And then I want 1 row and 3 columns, and we will pad with another blank cell and close brackets and enter. And this gets me 3 blank cells. So I can now copy this and paste it into this formula to replace this cell reference. Then for the next method, we're going to type equals sequence, and this time I'll start with just 6 rows, And then for the columns, I want just one column, and that's the default anyway, so I can just skip this. Then I also want the start to be 1, and that's also the default, so I can skip that. Then for the step, I want 1 divided by 3 again, because I want each number being repeated 3 times, and close brackets and enter. Then I'm going to put this inside the int function to round all of these values down to the nearest whole number. Then to get these numbers being repeated, I'm going to use the VSTACK function. And I can select this array and then select the same array again, and they will be vertically stacked on top of each other. I'll put this all together in one cell by using the let function, and name 1 will just be the letter A, and then A will just be this value here, and then for my calculation that is going to be VSTACK, and because I want this sequence of numbers being repeated 3 times, I need to put the letter A in here 3 times, and then close off the brackets and enter. And I now have the numbers 1 and 2 being repeated. Now we're going to make a grid of numbers, so I'll start by typing equals sequence, and we'll have 12 rows in here, and I'll skip the columns and the start, and the step is going to be 1/3. Then I'll put all of this inside the int function to round it down to the nearest whole numbers. And then because I want the numbers to increase by 3 each time, I need to multiply all of this by 3. Then, because I still want it to start at 1, I need to subtract 2 from the end of this. And this gets me my first column of numbers. Then I'll type equals sequence again. And now I will skip the rows, and I want 3 columns. And then I want a start of 0. And this gets me the numbers 0, 1, 2. Then I'll do equals and select all of these numbers and add them to these numbers and enter. And this gets me the grid of numbers that I want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we can also change the sequence formula up here if we want, and change the step to 0. And that will get me 0 being repeated 3 times, and then all of the columns are repeats of each other. For the final method, we are going to use MAKEARRAY, and the rows is going to be 10, and the columns is going to be 10, and then the function needs to be a lambda. And the parameters are going to be R for rows and C for columns. So the R here is linked to this number here, and the C here is linked to this number here. Then I need to put in the calculation that I want, and I want to take the row numbers and multiply them by the column numbers, and close brackets again and enter. And this gets me a multiplication table. So here we have 4 times by 5, and that gets me 20. Then we have 8 times by 7, and that gets me 56. And at the end we have 10 times by 10, and that gets me 100. Okay, so in this video I have shown you different methods for calculating sequences in Excel. And that is everything.